Late, so we have to get started here. You want to call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner McLeod?
Present.
Commissioner Newell? Present. Commissioner Gata?
Present.
Okay, the applicant is Lumiere Hospitality Group, LLC, doing business as Rosati's Pizza, address 3061 North Barrington Road, and the petitioner is here. Do the commissioners have any questions for the petitioner?
Yes, I had
Yes,
one.
go ahead.
And as far as, hang on one second. Christine Hansen?
Yes,
Is that you? Did you receive your card yet from Bassett?
I did.
It's
Oh,
in
you
yours,
did. So
yes.
you do have it in your possession?
I do.
Very good. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? Or does anybody in the public have any questions? Seeing no questions, the chair would accept a motion to release a license to the petitioner. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is the motion a second? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it, motion carried. Chair would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.
We'll start the committee meetings.
We have to check. Okay. Okay.
Would that be the perfect time of your day?
It'd be perfect if they weren't. Yeah, it would be.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'd like to call to order the Finance Committee for tonight, August 21st, 2017. Could I have a roll call, please?
Chairperson Palafis.
Present.
Vice Chairperson Newell.
Present.
Trustee Gata.
Present.
Trustee Mills.
Present.
Trustee Stanton.
Present.
Trustee Arnett. Present. Mayor McLeod.
Present.
And we have a quorum. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes from July 17, 2017.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. We have 6 items under new business. The first being, number 1, request approval to enter into a 5-year agreement for banking services with J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A., per the cost specified in the proposal dated July 14, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. I wanted to bring to the committee's awareness that actually Trustee Vandenberg caught me after the Platts concert meeting, and I agreed with her on some things about bringing forward the thought of keeping business in Hoffman Estates at Hoffman Estates Community Bank. There's really not a huge difference between the two proposals, and they already have the arena accounts.
Who does?
Hoffman Estates Community
Okay.
Bank. But I also wanted to ask Rachel, from your perspective, is there really a preference? Or I know you guys recommended JPMC.
So both proposals from Chase and Hoffman Estates Community Bank were exceptional. I'm confident that the services either bank would provide would be sufficient for the village's needs. Really, it just came down to price. That's the reason we were recommending Chase. But I am confident that the proposal Hoffman Estates Community Bank provided would be sufficient for the village.
Trustee Palafis, if I could.
Yes, sir.
Chase is the current, so they don't have the village now, and they are located also in the village.
Ah.
Okay, so Hoffman Estates Community Bank may have more branches as a subsidiary of Barrington Bank and Trust, but Chase does have the location that's up by Hoffman. what's part of it?
Mariano's.
Right, by Mariano's.
Oh, right.
And they have done a good job the last 5 years.
Oh, no question. I just. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Well, at least we got enough paramedics.
Taste the tires all over the floor.
So given
I
that,
think so.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
The Herald to go look.
Duly noted by Mr. Norris. I just thought, with the relationship we already have, it was worth consideration. Trustee Mills?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that was a concern of mine too.
And Hoffman Estates Community Bank has been a great partner to us over the years, and hated to see something, if it was something minor that was doing it. But wasn't there something in the packet, though, about Chase has some program they can do a
There's a
certain?
few minor things that Chase offers that kind of put them a step ahead. For example,
Oh, wow.
Chase has document retention for 10 years, and with Hoffman Estates Community Bank, it's only 90 days. They may not seem like a big deal to most people, but when you're researching lost checks or what have you, it's important to have that information. Chase also has a program where they would take a look at all of our credit card processing in an attempt to bring it under one umbrella, which we currently do not have right now. Their remittance processor, when we get checks into the village hall, we run them through a machine and we don't have to go to the bank to deposit them. It's done electronically. With Chase's unit, we could also run through the water billing remittance stub and upload that directly into our water billing system to post those payments. Right now, we have to do that on a second machine. So Chase would kind of eliminate that process. Hoffman Estates Community Bank wouldn't be able to do that. But again, we have a process to do that, so it's not really a deal breaker. But there were just a few minor things that Chase seemed to offer with their advanced technology.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Comments? Anyone? So we have the motion and the second for the recommendations. Any thought about a change, or I guess I can vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Thanks, Rachel. Item number 2 is a request authorization to award a contract for the 2018 Northwest 4th Fest fireworks display to Melrose Pyrotechnics Incorporated, Kingsbury, Indiana, in an amount not to exceed $35,000.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions, comments about fireworks? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Item number 3, request to waive bidding and authorize an increase for the emergency expenditure to raise the front entrance glass curtain wall foundation footings and steel columns at the Sears Center Arena in the amount not to exceed $180,000.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions? Trustee Stanton?
My understanding is that this is only an increase of 30,000 of the 150,000 we originally okayed?
That is correct.
Okay. I didn't want everybody to think we were spending another
I
$180,000.
should have made that more clear in the memo.
Okay.
Well noted. Any other questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Item number 4 is a request acceptance of the Finance Department monthly report.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments? Looks like we're doing good against the budget, so we'll see how all the changes in the state budget change us for the second half of the year. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Item number 5 is a request acceptance of the Information Systems Department monthly report.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item number 6 is a request acceptance of the Sears Center monthly report.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Trustee Stanton?
We don't have Ben here, do we?
No.
No.
Ben
Could
was
you
busy
ask-
all weekend long with the various events, so he sends his regrets. He did ask me to tell you that the volleyball sold out on Saturday night. Was around probably just under 5,000 people there. They had it set up in the half-house configuration, and was very successful event, as was Friday night.
I'm glad to hear that. What I wanted to ask or request is for visually handicapped people like myself, could he actually do a little bit bigger print on these things?
Yes, I'm sure we can.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Don't have a
Duly
magnifying
noted.
glass out?
Yeah, I have one, and I use it, but I don't want to if I don't have to.
Hell, yeah.
That's it.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? I was actually at both games both nights. USA did not bring their A game. Brazil crushed us, basically. Yeah, that's right. Trustee Arnett was there the
Saturday
second
was
night.
better than Friday.
Yeah, it was. It was less of a beating, but they still lost. But it was fun, and Ben's right. It did sell out, and lots of people were eating and drinking, and that was great. Any other questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. President's report.
I'll wait for the board meeting, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. Anything in other for the Finance Committee? Nothing? No items in review. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We're adjourned. Thank you.
I would like to call the Public Works and Utilities Committee to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Chairperson Newell,
Present?
Vice Chairperson Gata,
Present.
Trustee Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Mills,
Present?
Trustee Stanton.
Present.
Trustee Arnett,
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum. The next item would be the approval of minutes from July 17, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections, deletions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Also for the approval of minutes for the special PWNU from August 7, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. No corrections or additions. Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Under new business, we have 4 items. Item number 1 is request authorization to award contract for 2017 contracted brush branch pickup program to Trees R Us Incorporated out of Wakanda, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $30,000.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Item number 2, request authorization to award contract for the 2017 valve assessment program with concurrent leak survey to M.E. Simpson Company out of Valparaiso, Indiana, sole qualified proposal in an amount not to exceed $44,400.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions?
I have one. How many
Trustee
bids
Stanton?
do we actually get that were not qualified?
Actually, this is the only one that we received.
Okay.
We did, the last time we bid this out, or we asked for proposals, request for proposals was 3 years ago. We did receive a couple others from other firms at that time, but Simpson kind of blew them all out of the water, so I think they chose not to submit a proposal this time.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no other questions, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion passed. Item number 3, request acceptance of the Department of Public Works monthly report.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Do we have anything to add, Mr. Neville?
A very successful recycling event on Saturday.
Yes.
I think we broke a record, not by much, but we broke a record. Over 900 cars came through. The quantities were a lot harder, though, so we're going to take a look at how we can smooth operations even more, or potentially contemplate moving the venue somewhere else. So, but it was all very well received.
Thank you. All righty, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Item number 4, request acceptance of the Department of Development Services monthly engineering report of the Transportation and Engineering Division.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have anything to add, Mr.?
Nothing
No,
additional.
none? No, nothing, okay.
I have a question.
You have a question, trustee Stanton?
Airdrie Estates, when did we start redoing that?
Well, there's a plan that came in earlier in the year for a lot out there. At this point in time, they can come in lot by lot. It's still the original approval
Okay.
from way back in the day that it's being followed for.
Yeah, that is way back in the day.
Yeah.
It's got to be, 12 years ago, maybe longer, that the plat was approved. It's not like a site plan. The plat stands on their own, and there was always the intent to sell them lot by lot for custom homes.
Yeah, correct. I know they wanted $1 million for each of those. What kind of house are we building on here? We have an idea?
I don't have the full details of the actual house.
We'll get the
details.
information and get it out to the board.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Gata?
Going east on 90, there's a sign that says Barrington will be open on August 31st. How true is that?
They keep telling us that, so it's be true. That's for the last ramp, August 31st. They keep telling us the same
You told
day.
Hanky not to put them up.
Thank you.
He's not here to defend himself.
That's all.
Thank you. We have, seeing no other questions, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. President's report?
Wait for the board meeting, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Nothing under other or items in review. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Yes, I would like to call the Public Health and Safety Committee to order on August 21st, 2017. May I have a roll call, please?
Chairman Gata,
Present.
Vice Chairman Palafis,
Present.
Trustee Newell,
Present.
Trustee Mills,
Present?
Trustee Stanton,
Present.
Trustee Arnett,
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
And we have a quorum. Thank you. Number 2, approval of the minutes of July 17th, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments? Additions, deletions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Under new business, we have 6 items. Item number 1, request authorization to enter into an updated intergovernmental agreement with Major Case Assistant Team, MCAT. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Chief, would you explain, especially to the people that are watching on television, what MCAT is?
Turn on your mic, Chief.
Chief.
That is a task force made up of departments from primarily the 3rd District of Cook County, and was formed in the wake of the Brown's Chicken Massacre up in Palatine. So the task force initially focused on homicides and abductions and has since expanded to include for the forensics unit a STAR team, which is serious traffic crashes, and also a officer-involved shooting team or death team when someone dies in custody. So that's what they do.
Any questions from the board on this? And I would like to read a letter of appreciation. This is from the Elk Grove Village Police Chief, Charles Walsh. And he says, Dear Chief, on Sunday, May 21st, Elk Grove Village Police Department requested assistance from MCAT, for a death investigation on Motel 6 on Devon Avenue. Detective Rodney Pengrod, responsible for the department, as a member of MCAT, and was asked to perform many tasks. Whether he conducted a neighborhood canvass, interviewed witnesses and suspects, provided technical support, or conducted forensic studies, and his efforts were instrumental in the quick identification and arrest of the offender of this murder. The offender admitted to a physical altercation and the use of a weapon, resulting in 1 count of first-degree murder. On behalf of the Elk Grove Village Police, I want to say thank you to Detective Penrod for serving our community, showing dedication during long hours, and representing the best in profession. His actions are commendable and reflect well upon MCAT and your home agencies. The Chief of Police. Thank you. And also to Detective, thank him for it, please.
Thank you. I will do that, sir.
Any questions from the board? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And number 2, request authorization to extend existing contract for village nuisance wildlife control to ABC Human Wildlife, Schaumburg, Illinois, for a period of 1 year.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion up here? Chief, do you want to add anything to that?
No, this is just to extend the contract for the extra year. It was a 2-year contract with the ability to extend it for an extra 3rd year. So we've had no problems with them. Everything's been working well.
And now, this is no cost to the village, correct?
Correct.
Very good. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Number 3, request acceptance of the Police Department monthly report.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions from the board? Chief, would you like to add something to that?
Nothing to add, sir.
I would like to read another letter of appreciation, especially for the police department. You guys, you get enough. I won't go into that. Anyways, dear Chief, on the 21st, July, I was out of town when I saw the television news reporting that Schaumburg and Itasca were hit with heavy rains, hail, and possible microburst. I knew I could not get home to check my house, so the first thing I thought of was calling the police. In the 32 years I lived in Hoffman Estates, I have called the police less than a handful of times. I called the non-emergency number at 10:36 p.m., and the woman who answered was very friendly, understanding, and informative, telling me what she knew of the local impact of the weather. I knew the police would be busy with flooded roads, fallen trees, and limbs, but I asked if someone could drive by my house, make sure that it was okay. She transferred me to the dispatch person, who confirmed that an officer would be dispatched to check on my house. Please pass on my heartfelt thanks to Officer Richmond Redmond for checking my home, which I could not, knowing that your department was there for me, allowing me to take care of my out-of-town business and sleep well. Also, thank Sergeant Harry Russman for listening to my complaint and providing me with the correct information I needed to thank you. And yes, my final thank you is to you for leading a department that truly serves as well as protects. My compliments to you and your leadership style that promotes service upon and beyond, which has filtered down to the supervisors, street officers, and dispatchers. And this is from a Phil Noel. That was very, very nice of him, and of course with your department and with you leading them. Any questions from the board? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Chief. Request acceptance of the Health Human Services Monthly Report.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions up here? Dr. Savidra, any questions? Nothing to add? Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Number 5, request acceptance of the Emergency Management Coordinator Monthly Report.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Number 6, request acceptance of the Fire Department Monthly Report.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Chief, would you like to add anything? Nothing to add. We have good support from the back of the room back there. Anyways, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. President's report?
I'll wait for the board meeting.
Okay, there's nothing in other items in review. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Like to call the second meeting of the month of August order. Can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Arnett?
Present.
Trustee Mills?
Present.
Trustee Newell?
Present.
Trustee Palafis?
Present.
Trustee Stanton?
Present.
Trustee Gata?
Present.
Mayor McLeod?
Present. Lead us in the pledge.
Arnett?
Karen, will you lead us in the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Trustee Arnett. Move on to item number 3, recognition of the audience. This is a time if someone has a question or concern for an item that is not on the agenda. Now would be the time to come forward. Going once, twice, 3 times, we'll move on. Chair to accept a motion to approve the minutes of the August 7th, 2017 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's a motion, a second. Any questions or comments on the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have a motion carried. Move on to consent agenda. Chair would accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
The motion, a second. These items here on consent agenda are A, approval of the agenda, B, approval of the schedule of bills for August 21st, 2017, $3,504,054.82. And C, request board approval of an ordinance granting a variation to premises of 3991 Whispering Trail Drive. Do you have a motion and a second? Can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee, excuse me, Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried. Move on to President's report. With the leave of the board, I'd like to go down to the Citizen Life Saving Award. Chief Jorian, do you have something to present this evening?
Yes, I do. Kathy Dagian, with our fellow Armenian name, yeah, one of our nursing supervisors from our Health and Human Services Department, was about to enjoy the Blues Brothers concert at the Virginia Mary Hayter Village Green on July 6th, along with many other visitors. Just before the concert began, she heard some commotion behind her and realized that a man directly behind her had collapsed and was in need of immediate medical care. There were a few other people that also assisted in the initial care of this patient, but Kathy performed active CPR for several minutes until the arrival of our fire department EMS personnel. The patient was cared for on the scene and then transported to SAMC, St. Alexis Medical Center. Subsequently, he was moved to Alexian Brothers Medical Center and received the medical procedure to stabilize his condition, and he has been recovering continually ever since. Effective and early CPR made a true difference in this case. If it were not for the initial actions of Kathy and the others that lent a hand, this very well may have had a different outcome. We are certainly glad that it turned out the way it did. Although this event had a positive outcome, many times they do not. There is nothing that says that people have to come to the aid of someone in need. It's easy to just walk by or not do anything for fear of being held accountable if things go wrong. But that should never stop anyone from at least trying to do something. Taking that first step can be the hardest, but it can also be the most rewarding. Kathy and the others could have just waited for the EMS to help to arrive. Instead, she did something not every person would do. She tried to save a life, and it worked. I would urge all to take advantage of training in CPR and AED classes that are offered through our fire department or in other agencies in the area. You never know when you might have an opportunity to put that very valuable training into use. So now, Kathy, I would like to bring you up to the podium. This is Kathy Dagian. And I would like to present you with this Citizen Life Saving Award, which states, presented this 21st day of August 2017 to Kathy Dagian, in recognition of your participation in the emergency medical service incident on July 6, 2017, at the Virginia Mary Hayter Village Green, for your willingness to go above and beyond in the act of rendering emergency assistance and CPR to an attendee at a concert who had a critical medical event until emergency services arrived to continue care. Because of your selfless efforts, we recognize you for a positive outcome of a life saved. Thank you very much, Kathy. Do you have a few words you want to say or anything?
I'm just so happy that I was there. I told the story many times that this isn't normally where I sat. It was our first concert of the year. We had missed the first two concerts. So when we sat down, I was told, well, we're a little closer than we normally sit. And then someone told us, why don't you move closer? You'll really want to see this. And we thought, well, let's just stay here. So we did, and it just turned out, I was in the right place, and I was able to do what I was trained to do. And with the help of some other volunteers and our wonderful fire department, we had a wonderful outcome, and I'm just happy that I was there.
And at this time, I would also like to invite up to the podium the patient that was helped that night,
Oh.
Mr. David Miller.
This woman saved my life. There's no two ways about it. And it's this kind of volunteer work when you need it the most. And it wasn't something I was planning, obviously, and I was really disappointed not to see the blues concert. But we had to take care of a few other things. And because of her action, it saved my life. And I'm here tonight because of that.
Glad
Thank
you're
you
here.
so much.
So glad
We really appreciate that you saved David's life.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I was able to do that. This is his
Now,
wife, Rusty.
This is my wife, Rusty.
Hi.
And she's been the trooper all through that time. And one of the things that we wanted to do,
In Kathy's name.
yes, in honor of Kathy, is present a check to the Hoffman Estates Foundation for $500 to be used, I hope, towards some kind of emergency thing, whether it's the defibrillator or something like that, because I understand you didn't have one there at the Village Green. And so, I don't know who this would go to, but,
I think it'll go right to the treasurer.
but again,
The treasurer.
thank,
Yeah.
thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. If you'd like to invite your family up, if you'd like to invite your family up and introduce them real quickly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can we get a picture?
I'm going to have Kathy invite her family up and introduce them too, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I should,
Have,
okay.
yeah, invite,
Okay.
introduce them too.
So this is my mom, Ann, and Rich Dajan, my sister Karen, and my husband, Mike. Some of you may know Mike.
Okay, great.
Okay, so, where are we doing?
Okay,
Right
then
up
if you
here.
just walk through the
Kathy,
door.
want to, Kathy?
Introduce, handshakes. Just walk around the front there. Right around this way.
Thank you. All right. I have to go shake hands. Right?
I'm sitting by you from now on.
Glad you could be here with us. You are a wonderful. You do so much. Thanks for sharing with us. You're a great daughter.
Nice to meet you. Oh, my goodness.
Probably. We didn't give you a frame, right? Wait, stay here.
Taking pictures.
Glad it had a happy ending.
Yeah.
I can take pictures if you'd like to get in.
Kathy and Mr. Miller, if you can stand right up front here. And then we'll surround them, so come on either side. And then close it over here. Or is that? Well, he's singing, then I'll take it.
And with the board behind us.
It's very official.
All right, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Need to look at the chief real quick. He's quite the photographer.
It's a side job.
Artistic shots.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're set now. That's good to know. Thank you.
was John who noticed that David had slumped in the chair, and he yelled, "Heart attack," and that's when Kathy heard it. So everybody was so helpful, and the firemen afterwards, too.
Kathy is a dedicated nurse and has been a great employee for the village for many years. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, the next item we have on the agenda is the Great Citizen Award. Trustee Palafis, you nominated this young man. Why don't you?
Yes, sir. I recently nominated Mr. Nikhil Beatty, a former FREM student responsible for the startup of the school's LIFE program. LIFE stands for Love Your Friends Equally. The objective of the successful club is to foster friendships between students with disabilities and their typical peers. The purpose is not to help them, but to befriend and understand them. Members plan both social and educational events with students at FREMD and also teens and children in the community with disabilities. Although she is unable to be here this evening, Shannon Denna, a math instructor at FREMD, provided a few details on how this program came to be thanks to Mr. Beatty's hard work. Nikhil heard me speak at an event at FREMD 3 years ago. The event focused around the concepts of making friendships, creating a culture of positive peer pressure, learning about the importance of inclusion, etc. I shared about my experiences with my daughter, who has Down syndrome, and Nikhil was very affected by this talk. Afterwards, he approached me about starting a club similar to Best Buddies at Palatine High School to build friendships between students with disabilities and their typical peers. At first, I told him I was too busy to start a new club and that we didn't have enough students at FREM with disabilities to make a club like this realistic. Despite this, Nikhil persisted and came back a few days later with a petition signed by hundreds of students who felt FREM needed a club like LIFE and over 50 students who said they would want to join a club like this. The first year of the club, Nikhil helped start FREM's Lunch Buddy program and also led the homecoming golf cart parade display. This was LIFE's first exposure to other clubs of FREM, and it was a very positive one. Nikhil's personality is infectious, and his strength comes in motivating others and getting people excited about a cause. He is also good at starting conversations with others and modeling how friendship can exist across all ability levels. Nikhil has since continued to advocate for people of all abilities and is only limited by time and resources. He has many big ideas, sometimes too big for us to pull off, but he keeps on brainstorming and trying to find ways to connect people of all abilities socially. Outside of Life Club, Nikhil is very active with other organizations. He started a social experiment called The Faces of FREMD High School to better understand others and have their stories shared through social media. He also has an integral part in shaping VAMP, our freshman entering program. He worked over the summer of 2015 to redesign the curriculum to better meet the needs of the students and mentors. Nikhil has had many experiences with a nonprofit called VING, including a summer internship in 2016 that allowed him to work as a teen empowerment advocate and teen ambassador. He was able to speak on multiple TV shows and raise awareness for those in need in his community. Nikhil works very hard, and the school and our community are all the better for it.
Yes, Trustee Palafis and I had the opportunity to meet with Nikhil and the members of this group, and they really did. It's really a great organization, and I think they really did a lot to help inclusion for everyone, which is actually the purpose. So, the Village of Hoffman Estates is proud to present the Great Citizen Award to Nikhil Beatty on Monday, August 21st, 2017, in recognition of his dedication to development of the LIFE, Love Your Friends Equally program at FREMD High School. Nikhil's passion in helping those with disabilities is outstanding. His work in developing this successful program ensures that people of all abilities have a voice at the table and a friend to sit with. The board commends Nikhil for his time and efforts and encourages him to continue to share his gift of compassion with the world. Nikhil? You want to say a few words, Nikhil, about the program and about yourself and what's going on?
I would. First of all, thank you for this amazing honor. This club was never meant for me to gain a recognition. It was meant to help, not even help, but befriend others and understand what they're going through and give the true meaning of friendship throughout from high school. And not only that, it was meant to start a ripple effect as a social experiment throughout the community. And I'm glad that it's still growing. A couple of facts about our program. Within the first year, it became the second largest club at Fremd, and it just keeps on growing. We have new updates, such as a program called Community Outreach, which we bring in students of disabilities and we offer them a respite program where parents can have the day off and we'll take care of the kids. We'll play with them. We'll go to their needs as well. So stuff like this, it just keeps on growing, and I'm glad that I was able to be part of, to start this ripple effect. And I'll be actually going to college this Saturday, and so it's very nice to get this kind of encouragement before I leave and know that what I'm doing is appreciated for. Thank you.
Well, we're sure we'll be hearing from you in the future.
I hope so.
Any more great things. Why don't your friends and family come on up, too? Come on up, everybody. Come on up.
Everybody.
Everybody, come on up.
Where are you going to college?
University of Minnesota.
Great. You want to introduce these folks, Nikhil?
Excuse me?
You want to introduce these folks?
Yes. Right beside me is my father. Free facts about my father. He actually came from India, and he's the reason why I'm here today, as well as my mother, whose encouragement and nourishment always has led for us to never be afraid, but rather try your foot and put your foot into the water and see where it leads you. My father always has a quote: if you lose money, you lose nothing. If you lose your health, you lose something. But if you lose your character, you lose nothing. And I think, everything, sorry. You lose everything. And that's always been a motto of mine from this day I stepped into my high school. My mother. This is my brother. He's a 9th grader at Fremd High School right now. And tomorrow he will be going to his first life meeting. Everyone knows, so you can't skip out on it. That is my cousin Parthiv, and my aunt and my uncle as well. So.
Right. Come around and pick up your award.
Congratulations to you.
Good job, Dad. Way to go. Good job. Good job. Yeah.
Very proud. Very proud.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
You got a lot to live up to.
Gotta get a picture. Come on, everybody, let's get the picture. Come on in. You gotta give awards to shorter people.
All right, everybody ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, you might have to do that. Okay, we have some proclamations now. Who's got the first one?
Oh, I have the first one, Mayor. Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas exemplary public service employment is of vital importance in assuring provision of services directed toward the health, welfare, and safety of the citizens of any community. And whereas the police department has upon its roster an individual who should be commended for assisting said department faithfully serving the citizens of this community. And whereas length of service coupled with continued training and positive attitude toward assigned job tasks makes a profile of this dedicated employee. And whereas the Village of Hoffman Estates, on behalf of its citizens, desires to acknowledge its indebtedness and gratitude for 20 years of dedicated proficiency in the aforementioned department. Be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting under and by virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and the laws of the Village of Hoffman Estates, hereby proclaim Tuesday, August 29th, 2017, as Peter Edgar Day in the Village of Hoffman Estates, and urge all employees and citizens of the village to join us in expressing gratitude and appreciation to this employee who may have assisted them with outstanding service.
Chair would accept a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
The motion to second. We appreciate the great job that Peter has done for us for 20 years. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. Chief? Fire chief must have seniority. He gets the aisle seat. Who's next?
I am. Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas exemplary public service employment is of vital importance in assuring provision of services directed toward the health, welfare, and safety of the citizens of any community, and whereas the fire department has upon its roster an individual who should be commended for assisting said department in faithfully serving the citizens of this community, and whereas length of service coupled with continued training and positive attitude toward assigned job tasks make a profile of this dedicated employee, and whereas the Village of Hoffman Estates, on behalf of its citizens, desires to acknowledge its indebtedness and gratitude for 20 years of dedication and proficiency in the aforementioned department. Be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting under and by virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and the laws of this Village of Hoffman Estates, hereby proclaim Friday, September 8th, 2017, as I'm going to pronounce the last name wrong, Padal Day in the Village of Hoffman Estates, and urge all employees and citizens of the village to join us in expressing gratitude and appreciation to this employee who may have assisted them with outstanding service.
Chair to accept a motion.
So moved.
Motion to second. We appreciate the great job Colin has done for us for 20 years. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. Come on down.
Yeah, we talked aeronautics before.
Gotta get a picture.
Picture time.
All right. Everybody ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more big smile. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Stair count.
Thank you.
Chief, you want to come on in to get a picture of the two of you? You guys got a slouch.
Middle of them now. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got it. Thank you.
Okay, who's next?
I'm up. Again, one of our favorite subjects. Office of the Mayor Proclamation, whereas National Payroll Week celebrates the hard work by America's 150 million wage earners and the payroll professionals who pay them. Together, through the payroll withholding system, they contribute, collect, report, and deposit approximately $2.2 trillion, or 67% of the annual revenue of the U.S. Treasury. And whereas payroll professionals in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, play a key role in maintaining the economic health of Hoffman Estates, carrying out such diverse tasks as paying into the unemployment insurance system, providing information for child support enforcement, and carrying out tax withholding, reporting, and depositing. And whereas payroll professionals play an increasingly important role ensuring the economic security of American families by helping to identify non-custodial parents and making sure they comply with their child support mandates. And whereas payroll professionals have become increasingly proactive in educating both the business community and the public at large about the payroll tax withholding systems, and whereas payroll professionals meet regularly with federal and state tax officials to discuss both improving compliance with government procedures and how compliance can be achieved at less cost to both government and businesses. Be it therefore resolved that I, or you, William D. McLeod, sorry, I was just cruising, acting under and by virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and laws of this village of Hoffman Estates, hereby proclaim September 4th through September 8th, 2017 as National Payroll Week in the village of Hoffman Estates, and urge all residents and businesses of Hoffman Estates to join in its observance.
So
Sure.
moved.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. I think we all appreciate the payroll professionals and make sure that we all get paid. So everybody's got a job in this country. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, the ayes have a motion carried. Ms. Musiala, you want to accept this?
I know. I can tell you where it's at in my office. Next to the executive session envelope.
Okay, who's next?
I am, and after this weekend spending it with 4 of these kids, I can truly feel like a grandparent.
You've earned it.
Whereas on Sunday, September 10th, National Grandparents' Day, we honor those who have helped shape the character of our nation, and we thank these role models for their immeasurable acts of love, care, and understanding. And whereas throughout our history, American families have been guided and strengthened by the support of devoted grandparents. These mentors have a special place in our homes and our communities. They ensure the stories and traditions of our heritage are passed down through generations. And whereas grandparents witness great milestones in the lives of their children and grandchildren, they celebrate our early triumphs, console us when we are distressed, and cultivate our dreams. And whereas grandparents help ensure that cultural traditions and timeless values are passed on to future generations. Whether they are our own or surrogate grandparents who fill some of the gaps in our mobile society, our grandparents also provide our society a link to our national heritage and traditions. And whereas National Grandparents' Day presents a chance to show our profound appreciation and respect for the central roles that family elders play in our lives, the legacy of these selfless caregivers is not only reflected in the principles and sense of purpose they inspire in their loved ones, but also in their unique ability to reach across ages and enrich the lives of generations of Americans. Be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting under and by virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and laws of the Village of Hoffman Estates, hereby proclaims Sunday, September 10th, 2017, as National Grandparents' Day in the Village of Hoffman Estates, and urges all residents and businesses of Hoffman Estates to join in its observance.
Chair will accept the motion.
So moved.
Second?
It's motion to second. We appreciate the essential role of grandparents, and we have more than a quorum of grandparents up here. And being a grandparent is the greatest experience in the world. It's just unbelievable.
Especially when you can send them home.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's good too. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have a motion carried. Can you make sure this gets posted, Mr. Norris?
Yes, I will. I'll send it to the clerk who does the posting.
Okay. You play an essential role there, Mr. Norris.
Thank you.
Well, since we haven't met in a couple of weeks, I do have some communications I'd like to relay. I got a letter from the Government Finance Officers Association. Dear Mr. McLeod, we are pleased to notify you that the Village of Hoffman Estates, Illinois, has received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for the current budget from Government Finance Officers Association. This award is the highest form of recognition in governmental budgeting and represents a significant achievement by your organization. When a distinguished budget presentation is award is granted to an entity, a certificate of recognition for budget presentation is also presented to the individual or department designated as being primarily responsible for its having achieved the award. This is presented to Rachel Musiala, Director of Finance, and we'll have a formal presentation at another board meeting. But congratulations, Rachel, you've got quite a collection of these. I don't know where you can find the space to put another award up, but we really appreciate the great job that you do for the people of this community. Thank you. I have a letter from John C. Schmidt, the village president of Algonquin. Dear Mayor McLeod, on behalf of the village of Algonquin and our affected residents, I want to thank you and your community for assisting our Public Works Department with the July 2017 Fox River flooding event. Our staff requested assistance through the Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network, and your municipality provided the essential manpower and equipment to assist our crews. With your help, we were able to fill and distribute over 40,000 sandbags to our residents along the river, assisting them in protecting their properties and families from pending disaster. It's quite comforting to know that we have such good neighbors in municipal government who are willing to assist at a moment's notice. Our village could not have responded so favorably to the flooding without your agency's assistance. As always, Algonquin stands ready to return the favor when needed. Thank you again for your community's immediate and incredible support in our time of need. Mr. Neville, that's for you. I also have an email from a fire survivor of Our Lady of the Angels fire back in 1958. It's addressed to Lillian Clinton, the chair of the committee. I just wanted to thank you and all the wonderful people responsible for yesterday's presentation on the Our Lady of Angels fire. I really appreciated the warm welcome and courtesy you gave me and my wife Joyce. We both thoroughly enjoyed Jim Gibbons' presentation and found it very informative. I also have a email that I have been given a copy of. It's from a lady. Please express my profound thanks to the young lady of your office who rescued this lost lady on August 1st. She very kindly provided a Google map and suggestions and landmarks to direct me to Geneva. It was a very pleasant drive, thanks to her additional notes to the map. I can't thank her enough. She truly walked that extra mile for me. We do have great employees. There's no question about that.
Name the employee.
Oh, yes, Jillian Fioretti. Jillian Fioretti. So we'll make a note of that. Okay, we have appointments this evening. June McCrory to both the Seniors and the Veterans Commission. Chair would accept a motion.
So moved.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. We also interviewed Adam Bowski for the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, but we'll have to put that on the agenda for the next meeting, so can we make sure that that appointment's on the agenda for the September 11th meeting? Thank you very much. Okay. August 8th, some of the management team and myself met with the new ComEd representative that works in our area. And that evening, the Windy City Bulls had their multi-chamber event at the Sears Center. It was a sellout. It was excellent. August 10th, I stopped by at the picnic at Church of the Cross. Trustee Stanton and I met the new pastor there, the new minister, earlier in that week. And I followed that by going to the 4th of July meeting. On Saturday the 12th, the Community Health Expo took place in Barrington Square, and the board members and I attended the Kishu Kashyap Eagle Scout Award event, and also a block party on Edgefield. And Sunday the 13th, I want to thank the trustees for going to the block party on Swindon. I was a little indisposed with my toe. And on the 17th, I met the new director of Leiden Family Services. They have a building in the hospital complex there, so it was a pleasure to meet him. And on Friday the 18th, Trustee Gaeta and Trustee Stanton, my wife Joni and I attended the Bright Horizons Sears 25th anniversary event and picnic. And Joni and I actually were at their grand ribbon cutting in 1992. So it was great to see how well they've done the intervening years. On the 19th, as was mentioned, a very successful recycling event. at the Public Works Department, and several of the board members volunteered there. And they did a great job of it. They had a ton of people there bringing in things. Still amazing how many of those humongous, big TVs are still out there.
Projection TVs.
Oh, my God.
Still got a couple in my house.
Should have went to the recycling event. Okay, and then we had, after that, we had block parties on Harvard, Lafayette, Whispering Trails, and Dixon. And also an Eagle Scout ceremony for Grant Barons. On Sunday, the 20th, most of us were able to get to the Beth Tikva Congregation Annual Picnic. Always a great event, and they always have great hot dogs. And they added hamburgers to the menu this time around, so. Great congregation. They're having their 60th anniversary next year, so we'll have to make a note of that and do a nice proclamation. And this evening, we had, why don't the Scouts stand up? Come on up to the podium here. Right there. Yeah, that one right there. Sorry. So we had a very nice conversation with the troop. You want to explain who you are and where you're from? Janice, you want to?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. My name is Janice Spitz. I am a merit badge counselor for citizenship in the community, and in Troop 496, assistant scoutmaster. And so I wanted to have the boys meet you guys and continue learning on being good citizens in our community. We have a variety of communities from here in Hoffman Estates clear to Roselle with the boys, so.
It was a pleasure. Appreciated having you come in, and you had the entire village board and the clerk.
It was great also seeing the tree out front that we planted 7 years ago for Centennial for Boy Scouts of America, to see how much that grew, just like our boys.
Now it's 107 years. Wow.
Not the
does
tree,
fly.
but
Not
the
the tree, but the
Scouts.
Scouts, yeah. Janice is a longtime Scouter, and we appreciate all that you do, and we appreciate the young men for what they do. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you. Okay, we'll move on to trustee comments. Let's start with trustee Arnett.
Thank you. On August 12th, I also did you, Trustee Gaeta?
No, go ahead.
August 10th, 12th, I did attend the Community Health Expo at Beerta Square Mall. I went a little bit later than Mayor McLeod, but a pretty decent turnout, very well informative. Later that afternoon, I did attend the block party on Edgefield. Very nice community, very nice people there. Good crowd they had, too. On August 13th, I did attend the block party on Swindon for Patricia Reed and Catherine McCord. It was a pretty nice day out. Then on the 19th, I did attend the recycling event, and I helped with the shredding, which was adventurous, but the guys did a really great job. Everybody there was really great, and I had the opportunity to work with Mike, Brian, and Ralph, and they were just fantastic guys to work with. My compliments to you, Joe Nebel, for the guys. And then I also did attend the volleyball match for the USA men's on Saturday night. Really good game. Very well-controlled crowd. No disturbances that I know of. And it was just a really well-attended event. It was great. So, and that's what I have.
Okay, trustee Gaeta.
Oh, very good. Thank you, Mayor. Well, I'll tell you what, we have a few things on here. Saturday, the 12th, the Eagle Court of Honor for Cashew Cassup, and that was at our Savers United Methodist Church. Also, on the 12th, we had a block party at 1520 Edgefield Lane. Then on Sunday, the 13th, we had a block party on 1959 Swindon Place. Then on Friday, the 18th, Bright Horizon Sears Child Development Center, their 25th anniversary. And this is where Mayor McLeod and his wife and Trustee Stanton, we attended it. That was a nice affair, and as far as what they do for the young kids and for the kids. Also, Saturday was one long day. that started at 8 o'clock in the morning with the recycling event at the Public Works. And Joe, they did an excellent job of coordinating that whole thing, and that was over 900 cars that came through that. You guys did an excellent job. Also on Saturday, we had 4 block parties to attend. First one was 531 Harvard Lane. Second one, 4045 Dixon Drive. Third one, 395 Lafayette Lane, and the fourth one on Whispering Trails. And we also continued on Saturday the 19th. We had an Eagle Court of Honor for Grant Burns at the Prince of Peace Church, Lutheran Church, right on Higgins. And then on Sunday, majority of us attended the Beth Techvik Congressional Annual Picnic on 300 Hillcrest. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, Trustee Newell.
I thought it was going to be last. Guess not. Okay. So on the 8th, I sat in for the Bike Advisory Committee, which was a good group. So I really enjoyed that because Trustee Palafis was out of town for work. On the 10th, the Village Green, the last one, which was Cadillac Grove, which was really a lot of people and everybody was really moving. On the 12th, we had, as they had mentioned, Eagle Scout Kishu Kashan for his awards. And then, of course, the Block Party on 1520 Edgefield and the Health Expo at Barrington Square. And then on the 13th, of course, the Block Party on 1959 Swindon. And then moving on to the 19th, which was a fun day. We started out with the recycle event, which was really awesome. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who volunteered, to Public Works, to Swank, and most of all to everyone who came out and actually recycled and for being so patient in line. The lines were a little long, but every time you think about that you recycled something is just absolutely awesome. As Trustee Gaeta had mentioned, over 900 cars. That was a lot of cars. Then, of course, as it was mentioned, the block parties, which was 4045 Dixon, Whispering Trails, 531 Harvard, and 395 Lafayette. And then, of course, the Eagle Scout ceremony for Grant Behrens, which we also had, I think, a couple of years, Mayor. Didn't we do his brother? We
yes.
went for his brother, so there's 2 Eagle Scouts in the family now. On the 20th, of course, the Beth Tikva annual picnic, and as they had mentioned, the hot dogs and the hamburgers were very good. Thank you to Kathy Dajan for what she had done. Saving a life is a big thing, and to see him standing here in front of you just kind of really chokes you up, so I'm so glad it turned out really good. Congrats to Nicole Bade for the Great Citizen Award. Happy birthday, Trustee Stanton.
Oh.
Uh-huh, okay.
Oh, Mike.
And, geez, Mike, really?
That's what happens when
There
you
you
go
go.
second. Yeah.
You got me on that one.
Good thing I went. Thank you to Troop 496. You guys really came up with some great questions. None of them were pre-checked out, and we had to wow, we were on our feet, so you kept us on our toes. And just one little thing I want to throw out there is that with school beginning, just take a few extra minutes for travel and be aware of the buses and the children. Everybody's excited about going back to school. Some are, excuse me. And just be careful because they're out there, and take your time. So thank you.
Trustee Stanton.
Thank you. On the 8th, I was able to attend the Windy City Bulls after-hours event. On the 12th of August, I attended the Eagle Court of Honor ceremony for Cashew Ketchup. I guess that's right, I'm not positive. Later that day, I did attend the block party on Edgefield Lane. On the 18th, I attended the 25th anniversary celebration for Bright Horizons, as the mayor has mentioned, and also Trustee Gaeta. And on the 20th, I attended the Beth Tikva annual picnic. I couldn't attend all the other events with you. On the 19th, I had a golf. I'm sorry. And on the 21st today, we were here for the Boy Scout Troop 496's meeting with the mayor at the Village Hall here. That's it.
And we also celebrated your birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes, you did.
Trustee
Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody's birthday wishes.
Attempting to recover here. Trustee Mills.
Well, gosh, I haven't been able to do much as you guys. I've been doing grandma duty the last couple weekends. So, but first of all, I want to send out a special thank you to Kathy Dagan for the excellent job she did. You know, she was on her off time. She could have just sat back, but she didn't. So it's wonderful that we have such dedicated employees and just individuals, period. I was able to get to the Swindon Block Party because that was right down the street, and they had a good turnout, and the kids are having a ball. They're at their piñata that day. Sorry I missed Bright Horizons. My daughter worked there for a couple of years, so it would have been nice to go back to see that. Thank you to Troop 496 for attending tonight's meeting and sticking around. The boys did have some great questions from when I was eavesdropping in on your questioning session, and we thank you for the dedication of your troop leaders, too. And last but not least, happy early birthday to Trustee Stanton. Hope you have a great one.
It's only one day early.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
It should
That's
be
it.
like Clerk's Week. It should go on for a month.
That's right. Actually, it is going, we celebrated at my daughter's house yesterday, now today, and now tomorrow. So 3-day celebrations, not bad.
That's pretty good. Trustee Palafis.
You're on a roll. I have a few things. I'm going to go out of order. I'm not as pulled together as y'all on the calendar and the order. But a big thank you to Trustee Newell for covering me at the Schaumburg Bikeways Advisory Committee, which, as she mentioned, I was unable to attend due to business travel. They just love it when the others show up. I'm sure you're way quieter than I am when you guys fill in for me at that meeting. Because, I'm so excited about biking and everything. And I do some bragging about how we're pulling ahead of them and some other things. So thank you again for going to that. I appreciate it. I attended the Hoffman Estates Opportunity Center meeting today. Many thanks to Jen and Monica, Dr. Savidra, Monica, for all that you guys do to help our community through the HEC. I just get to show up, and somehow I'm sharing the meetings now. But it's great hearing all the different groups that are involved there to look out for folks in our community through the HEOC. And then a couple of weeks back, Judge Genera, Gary Stanton, and I actually went to a golf outing fundraiser that the HEOC held that raised in excess of $30,000. So you'd just be happy to know it's just a pretty big number. So that'll all go to the services that are provided in that location. Had the Plots Concert Commission meeting today, which Trustee Gator did a cameo, but he didn't sit down and hang with us. But we're in the home stretch for our event, and all the planning is pretty solid and done. Many thanks to Mark Copland and Ryan and Rachel and everybody on the staff side pulling that together. Now all we need is great weather. So, we're hoping that we're going to get a really great weekend so all of that good planning can go to work. Where am I here? Happy birthday, Gary. As I always state, if there's a party or a get-together, I'm happy to attend. Even though you've all never taken me up on that. I'll be there. Thank you to the Boy Scouts, Troop 496, for coming tonight. I hope you all have aspirations to go for Eagle Scout. As you can hear, this group goes to a lot of those. And as I always say, the Marine Corps is waiting for you right after you get your Eagle Scout. So that's your trajectory path. Congratulations to Nikhil for his Great Citizen Award. My son Joshua attends that life group and loves it. And my son John and my nephew Evan have both joined the life group for this year. So it's just a really great, diverse group of kids. And when the mayor and I went there, it was kind of the best of, Hoffman. And Bruce was there filming and whatnot. And their whole executive board, I have to brag on this, we're all from North Hoffman and just Hoffman Estates, all of them. So, that's great to see our kids so involved in groups like that. And then congratulations, last but very least, to Kathy Diggin for your life-saving award. Because of her, someone else's lease on life is extended, and that's pretty awesome to watch, sitting here and to think that, somebody jumping up to help led to that. That's all for me.
Thank you, Trustee Palafis. Move on to 6C, Village Managers Report.
Yes, sir. First thing, happy birthday, Trustee Stanton.
Thank you.
Hopefully, something will help spur you to play golf more even now. Second thing is Jordan Lester, our former intern, is in the audience. She hasn't been our employee for more than a month, and I don't even know why she's here, but she is. And because she's here, I want to publicly congratulate her on getting her first-time professional job with the Village of Glencoe as a management analyst / deputy village clerk.
Cool. Congratulations. Move on to 6D, the Village Clerk's Report.
No report.
No report.
No report. I know.
The big one.
Yeah, we let you go.
She left. Move on to 6C, Treasurer's Report.
Village Treasurer has prepared his report for the month of June, and it's ready for your review.
Chair would accept a motion
So
to
moved.
accept the
Second.
Treasurer's Report. There's a motion to second. Any questions on it? See none, can you poll the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. Move on to 7, additional business.
I'll make a motion to approve by omnibus vote 7A through H.
It's a motion for an omnibus
second.
vote A through H. All those in favor of the omnibus vote, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. Chair would accept the motion.
Now I'll make a regular motion to accept.
So motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
A motion, a second. The items we're dealing with on additional business are A, request board approval of an ordinance amending section 8-3-22, number of licenses of Article 3 alcoholic liquors of the Hoffman Estates Municipal Code, increase in number of Class A licenses, Lumiere Hospitality Group LLC doing business as Rosati's Pizza, 3601 North Barrington Road, Hoffman Estates. 7B, request board approval to enter into a 5-year agreement for banking services with J.P. Morgan Chase Bank per the cost specified in the proposal dated July 14, 2017. 7C, request board authorization to award contract for the 2018 Northwest Fourth Fest fireworks display to Melrose Pyrotechnics, Inc., Kingsbury, Indiana, in amount not to exceed $35,000. D, request board authorization to 1, waive formal bidding, 2, increase the emergency expenditure to raise the front entrance glass, curtain wall, foundation footings, and steel columns at the Sears Center Arena in an amount not to exceed $180,000. E, request board approval to enter into an updated intergovernmental agreement with the Major Case Assistance Team, MCAT. F, request board authorization to extend the existing contract for the village's nuisance wildlife control to AMC Humane Wildlife, Schaumburg, Illinois, for a period of 1 year. G, request board authorization to award contract for 2017 contracted brush branch pickup program to Trees R Us, Inc., Wakanda, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $30,000. H, request board authorization to award contract for 2017 valve assessment program with concurrent leaks survey to M.E. Simpson Company, Valparaiso, Indiana, so qualified proposal, in an amount not to exceed $44,400. There's a motion to second. Are there any questions on any of these items? Seeing none, can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. Chair to accept a motion to adjourn to executive session. For what reason, Trustee Mills?
I make the motion to adjourn into executive session for litigation, 5 ILCS 120/2C-11, and review of closed session meeting minutes, 5 ILCS 120/2C-21.
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second. Any questions on this? See none, can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. We are adjourned to executive session. We will not be returning to the podium here this evening. Thank you.